Thanks to the new movie Last Breath, I now have another reason why I don't work in or on the ocean.
Diver 2 is on bailout.
I will come back for you.
Make sure I'm born. Hi everyone, my name is Bob and welcome to Was It Good, where I give you my movie and TV show reviews. And today we're going to be talking about the new movie Last Breath, which is based on a heart-pounding true story and a documentary of the same name. Now before I get into this review, I do want to let you know that this is going to be spoiler-free, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you don't need to worry about any spoilers. Now if you have seen it, I'd really like to know what you thought about it, so why don't you go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section below and let me know. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Have you seen the documentary? Were you aware of the story? I'd really like to know your thoughts on this one. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, and support the channel by hitting subscribe. Now let's get to it. Last Breath is a thrilling true story of seasoned deep-sea divers who battle the raging elements in order to rescue a crewmate who's trapped hundreds of feet below the ocean's surface. Now, thanks to the movies I've seen over the years, growing up I was never a big fan of the ocean. I was always afraid of what could happen on the surface, or that I might find out what was lurking underneath. But despite this uneasiness that I have about the ocean, I've always found it to be very fascinating, and this idea of these saturation divers having to do this dangerous job at depths where anything could happen, I found that to be very intriguing. So, what did I think? Let me start out by saying I thought this was a very intense movie. It really got me going from the start of it, as it tells you that this is a true story and that there are very dangerous conditions that these divers are going to face. And even though it takes about 10-15 minutes to introduce you to the characters, once it gets out onto the ocean, it just really gets going. And I found myself on the edge of my seat as events played out. And the fact that the movie's only 90 minutes long, or approximately 90 minutes, it doesn't have any wasted scenes in it. It just really gets you into the meat of the story. And I found myself to be on the edge of my seat, really engaged in what was happening and just wanting to see these divers get out okay. And so I didn't think there were really any boring moments. I liked the fact that it was approximately 90 minutes, and all of that really just aided to the intensity level. Next, I think the movie made great use of the sound, as during one moment you're hearing a bunch of stuff going on and there's music going on and you're hearing the people talk, and then all of a sudden just dead silence, as if you were actually on the bottom of the ocean.
I can't rescue you if I can't find you. Understand?
Just make sure I'm where I go. And I thought how this was done throughout the film was very effective, and it really drew me in. Also, I like the way that the film is shot and how it used its colors, because this is actually pretty dark when it's underneath the ocean, and the way that it used particular sets of lighting, it made you feel like you couldn't really see anything, like you were one of the divers, and because they couldn't really see much, you couldn't see much. And so I thought that was very effective, and it really put me into the role of the divers and put me in their shoes. Also, I think that the acting performances were very solid throughout the film. This is very much an ensemble piece, and even though Woody Harrelson, Simu Liu, and Finn Cole are the divers, everybody gets a moment to shine in this movie, and I think that all of the actors delivered solid performances. Finally, I found the story itself to be pretty incredible, as it highlights the necessity of these divers and the job that they do, but it also showcases how difficult and dangerous this job really is. And then the story itself becomes this race against time in order to save one of their co-workers. And I just found it to be an incredible story that highlights the human spirit and survival instincts and never giving up. And so I just found it to be an incredible story, and I actually want to learn more about it and check out the documentary and learn more about the actual event. There are a couple negative things that I want to mention about the film, and the first one is that I do think it's a little predictable, and part of that is because it doesn't really do anything different from other movies that are about survival and whatnot. So because of that, if you've seen some of those, you pretty much know how this is going to play out, and it is a little predictable. And the other thing is that I would have liked to have known a little bit more about the characters, and part of that is because it's only 90 minutes and it really jumps into the meat of the movie. I didn't feel like I really got to know them the way that I wanted to. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was just a personal preference. Real quick, before I get into my final thoughts, I want to go ahead and remind everyone to go ahead and check out the other videos on my channel. Maybe I've reviewed something that you're interested in, or something that you've seen already and you'd like to let me know what you thought. Also, for those that are interested, I do have another YouTube channel with a couple of my friends where we put on a show called Dad's Turn to Talk. This is an opportunity for three dads to get together and talk about the things that we want to talk about, including movies, sports, pop culture, and have a little bit of fun at each other's expense. The link to that channel will be in the description below. Final thoughts. Was it good? I thought this was a pretty solid movie that had an incredible story. I liked the sound effects, the lighting, the acting performances, and overall, I just thought it was an amazing story that I was just drawn into. If you like survival movies that are based on true stories, I think you're probably going to like this one. But if you're expecting something new from that genre, you're going to probably be disappointed. But otherwise, I do think it's worth watching, and I say go ahead and check it out. If you're still watching this long, I'd like to thank you for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.